Assalamu alaikum. This is Ahmed Hader Adam. I'm the CEO of Adam Farms, Ghana. We are located in Awoshi, and we are into cattle farming, or probably let me say livestock farming. We rear cattle, we do the breeding, that's the beefing or fattening. We have healthy cattle, and this is what we do all year round. And twice or three times in the season, we do a turnaround. Okay, so Adam Farms started, I think, 6 years ago in the year 2019, right before lockdown. I felt after school, I thought I should go into some business, so I thought of cattle because since infancy is something I've loved. So I just sent a few friends to the north to purchase a couple of cows for me. And in fact, the actual idea was I was going to bring them and give them to someone to cater for them because I didn't have much time. I had other businesses. But I gave it to the person, and after 2-3 months, it was rather unfortunate. In as much as I was paying the person, he wasn't taking good care of the animals. So eventually I was forced to take them and have some time for them. In fact, so that is how it started. I actually didn't think I was going to devote my time fully, but trust me, I'm enjoying the business now and I'm doing full time, mashallah. So ever since I had my first set of cattle, there were about 10 in 2019. During Eid, I sold out. Then I said, no, let me go into this business. So I started learning more about beefing, like that's fattening, because you buy a cattle, you fatten it and you sell. So gradually, day in, day out, I gained experience on the job, and in the space of 5-6 years, alhamdulillah. I'm not there yet, but so far so good. We are gradually moving, alhamdulillah. Okay, so gradually, what we actually do is we purchase our cattle from the cattle market. There are lots of markets around the country, places like Yeji, Bupe, Adakulu, Akate. In fact, all those who are into cattle farming, they actually know such places. And so we go to such places and we buy the cattle. Because at the moment, I personally am not breeding, I'm beefing. Because when you are breeding, you usually buy female cattle for them to multiply, like they reproduce. And so you can get your stock from that. But at the moment, I am doing beefing. So I look at buying average size cows. Sometimes I buy smaller sizes. Sometimes also bigger cows, but they are slim and probably sometimes not healthy. They are sick. So when we purchase such cows from the market or the Fulanis, we bring them home. We take them through the beefing system. So with the beefing system also, we have certain feeds we give the animals to beef them within a period of time, 4 to 6 months, together with their medication and their multivitamins. So when we buy the cattle, we take them through some vaccination to make sure that they are healthy, or they can regain their health or restore their health. Then we take them through feeding for a period of time. And with the feeding also, we have particular feeds that can beef them up. So inshallah, usually within 4 to 6 months, the cow is able to reach its limit. Then we sell it off and purchase. That's all. So it's a business. I mean, like we all know, there is no business that is easy. And in fact, you have to gain experience on the job. Personally, I didn't have anyone coaching me. So I actually went through it, through thick and thin myself, the hard times, the downs and ups. Alhamdulillah, along the line, I was able to get a veterinary who started taking care of my animals for me. I consulted with him for 3 years. And so, alhamdulillah, as I said now, I'm able to diagnose my animals and vaccinate them. But anyone who wants to go into the business is actually a good business, actually. I think, first of all, you would have to have passion for farming. Because to be honest, they are living things like we are. And I mean, you have to cater for them as much as you can. And so if you don't have the passion, to be honest, you're not able to do it. This is not a mobile phone that you buy and sell. You can drop it in your showcase and it's there forever. This is a livestock that the next minute you come, it's not healthy, it's not well. The next minute it's hungry. The next minute there is an issue you have to. So it's something that takes so much time. So you should have the passion for the work. You should have time to dedicate to be able to cater for them. And lastly, feeding. Trust me, it's headache getting food for these animals. the good thing is they have a wide range of feeding. Like they can eat almost everything that is, they eat vegetables, they eat fruits, they eat cassava, they eat yam, they eat, they eat a lot of things. And even if it starts going bad, they are cool once you're doing them. But getting their food in that quantity is actually an issue. Because with my cattle, I mean, I feed them each month or each week. When I go for feed, at least after a week or 10 days, I have to go searching for feed. And we mix it up with, we have rice bran, we have wheat bran, we have maize grit and maize bran, we have barley, we have malt. All this feeding is some of the feeds that beef them. We have fruits, we do vegetables, we do cassava peels, we do yam peels and plantain and all that. So getting such feed actually is an issue. So anyone who is interested in such business, you have to make sure that you have a source that would provide you with feeding. And if you have a large number of animals, you definitely need a truck as well, because you need truck to be transporting the feed from wherever it is to the farm. If you don't have a truck, someone might do it for you with his truck, but he's going to charge you probably times 3 what you would have done with your own truck. So once you have the numbers, for the fact that they eat a lot, you have to make sure you have the truck, you have the time, you have the passion, and you have someone whose experience can guide you just to make it easy for you. And when it comes to marketing and selling our animals also, we have a wide range of people who come to buy. Alhamdulillah, now most people like to purchase a cow when they have a program. Muslim, Christian, whoever, they usually now purchase a cow. So we usually have people when they have events, when they have a wedding, when they have any ceremony, an event, when they have a marriage ceremony, all of that. Even funerals, people come. At the same time, when it's Eid, like Eid al-Adha for the Muslims, they also usually purchase. And to be honest, most of the feedback I get is one of the reasons why I'm into this business, because they usually, after slaughtering, they feel like this is good meat. And trust me, most times when they come to buy, they try to pull you a bit. They feel like the price is expensive. In as much as it's beefing, we do lots of cost here. We put in a lot of money. But anyone who buys an animal from me eventually calls and says it is worth it. Because at the end of the day, the quantity of meat, the quality of it and all of that, they see that actually it is worth it. But when they come buying, they feel like it's expensive. Yeah, Ghana is expensive now. But alhamdulillah, so far so good. And I'm able to give my customers or clients like what they need or what they want, and I'm able to give them quality. Yeah, with regards to the challenges also, there are quite a lot of challenges, but alhamdulillah, the good thing about the job is each year or each term I'm able to improve, because I learn from what happens in the past and I'm able to improve. There is one challenge for sure you are definitely going to face, that is casualties. There is no way, because you are dealing with living things. Casualties, sickness, death. That one is a norm. Each year a cattle will die. Definitely. Could be 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we look at as cattle farmers is how to minimize death. And that is why you always have to be on the sides. You have to make sure that when you bring a new cattle from the market, you quarantine it or you seclude it and cater for it and treat it well before you mix it up, because most people have just one barn, and so whatever animal they bring, they put it together with the old ones. Now when the new animal has some form of disease, definitely they have these airborne diseases as well, because they are sharing the same food, the same water. So casualties and the challenges we face is death. Death, we will definitely face it, but we are trying to minimize it as much as we can. This year I was able to do just 4 deaths, and I think it's commendable, because in the past it has been more. And so the other challenge we also face is with feeding. Like I said, the cattle eat a lot. So if you have a number, I have quite a number of cattle. So when it comes to feeding, it's actually a challenge. You have to make sure you have the sources and have the connections to be able to get food for your animals all the time. Because if it's purchasing a cow, I feel like everyone can purchase a cow. Once you have money, you buy. But it's not actually buying it, how to care for it. And so with the feeding, it's a challenge. Thirdly, the major challenge is pricing, actually. And you realize that ever since I started, from my experience, it never goes down, it keeps increasing. In Ghana, that is how it is. 5 years ago and now it's definitely not the same. Pricing. So when we go buying the cattle, probably when I sell all my stock, I would have to go and buy before I'll come and beef. Now the prices keep increasing. Each year is more than the previous year. And so I project and I say, is this how it's going to continue? What happens in the next 5 years? It means we are going to buy cattle very expensive. Then you will now come and invest some money in it and beef it. And how much are you actually selling it? So sometimes, in as much as I have all my records, I'm not able, or I don't try to find how much I spend on each cattle. Because if you're going to do all those calculations, you might end up not being able to sell because you're going to put huge price tags on the animals. So the pricing is an issue. And so the vision is moving forward is, why not? Because I'm stuck in the middle of the chain. It's a chain from breeding, beefing, and slaughtering. That's the chain of cattle farm. Now, I am in the middle because I buy from somewhere and I beef. And I also sell, because I forgot to mention, even the abattoirs, the butchers come to buy from me. They slaughter and they sell the meat, So, for the fact that I keep buying in the market each year, why won't I also start breeding? And breeding, I definitely need somewhere, the outskirts of town. I get some land, I put some female cows there so that they can start, I breed there. I get some males to cross them when they're on heat and all of that. Eventually, after some years, I'm sure I'll be able to have my own source that I take my stock from. So instead of going to the market to buy, I have somewhere that each year I go and pick bulls or cattle, male cattle from there, bring them to my farm, beef them, then I sell them. So the long-term plan is I start the chain because I'm now in the middle, I beef. So I want to start breeding. And maybe later I'll think about the end product, slaughtering also, and supplying meat as well, so that I capture it all. In the near future, we have other plans, inshallah. If we start doing the milk, we look at some other benefits we can have from cows, their shoes, their leather, and all of that, their horns, inshallah. Hopefully, in the near future, we'll find some uses for such things. And in a nutshell, I think those are the little challenges and the vision we have. So, with regards to certain tips I would give based on my experience, like I said, feeding is very important, and it's good to do some research and know the sort of feeding that befits, because that is our goal. When you check that, most of the grains, some grains have greater potential than the others. If you're able to know this, it will help you. And it's good to keep your cattle healthy. Vaccination, at least you deworm every 3 months is good. Every 3 months you deworm, and they have this respiratory disease that affects them a lot. And it's good you also treat them. We call it tylosin. It's good you treat them. And some other things, you make sure you keep the barn clean, because to be honest, what I have noticed is when the cattle is comfortable enough, it beats early, because when you put it under stress, sun, rainfall directly, and sunshine, and the barn is not clean and all of that, in as much as the cattle will be eaten, but they easily fall sick, and it takes time for them to beef. But if you're able to give them comfort, you roof their barn, they have comfort, they have, there is no direct rain, and they're able to rest well, eat well. It's some of the things that actually makes them beef on time. Because just like human beings, when we are comfortable, we grow fat, so like it's all part of the time. Yeah, so in the markets, like there's quite a range of cattle, and to be honest, it's quite surprising the number of cattle we find in the market, because they hardly deliver 2 babies. They usually have just 1 calf, that's it. But the numbers are quite beautiful, mashallah. In the markets now, the prices are expensive, to be honest. And so usually what I do is I buy average size cows. In the human term, we would say adolescent, because cattle also have that thing. They have that growth spec, and at their adolescent age or moment, they grow faster within 6 months. So that's what I target. You come and see my cattle really, really little, but give it 6 months, you come and see it's really huge, as compared to buying a huge cow that is slim and you want to fatten. in a year you would fatten it enough, but it won't increase in size, in height or horn. You know, the more they increase in height, the more their bones become bigger and the more they fill with meat. You know, so that's my target actually. I take average size, then I beef them and they grow at the same time, because at that stage, you know. But in the market, the cattle are quite expensive now. If you want an average size, you're looking at 4,000 cedis. You know, and if you want something big, you're looking at 8,000 cedis. When you have something 8,000 cedis, a good one, you can slaughter and it will serve probably 150 people. Yes, you know. But the difference we have is the breeded cow in the market of a size, a particular size, and comparing it to a beefed cow in our places of that same size, the beefed cow usually has more weight and more meat, because beefing is more of meat, yeah, and it's meat. It's not dairy, it's not milk, you know. So it's something that you have to be particular about. There are other features we know when you go buying a nice cow, because just like we have for human beings, someone who eats for years and would never grow big, you know. The same thing to with cows. A cow, you can breed a cow, you can beef a cow for years. Oh, beef, but you know, it doesn't grow much in height and size, you know. So we look at certain features like the size of the ear. The size of the ear is some of the tips, and some also look at, which is true, their skin, the leather. When it's long enough from beneath to down. The skin beneath, when it's quite long. Some look at the length of the tail, it has to be long. Some look at their hip bones, they have to have that hip bones. When they have big hip bones, we're able to see that, you know that this animal is a nice breed. And then there's a common breed we know, that's the Budalis and the Rajis. You know, they are two different breeds, but they are nice breeds. And when you have their cross breed, whatever they have of a cow is also very beautiful. So these are some of the tips. The Fulanis, they are friendly, and once you get familiar with them, the more you're able to establish a relationship and buy from them. But in a nutshell, I think these are certain tips that might help one way or the other, inshallah. Okay, so my final comment, first of all, I wish everyone well into cattle business or any other business. At the end of the day, we are serving, we are working to help others and to help the society as well and the nation as a whole. We pray that Allah bless our business. And secondly, anyone who wants to go into cattle business, Adam Farms, I am there. I mean, if you need a few tips one way or the other, I'm hoping I can help one way or the other, inshallah. Lastly, anyone who wants to buy also, I guarantee you quality and healthy cattle, honestly. You can get in touch, our contacts. When you check on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you will find us there. And on WhatsApp as well, WhatsApp business, Adam Farms Ghana, you will find us there. If you want to contact us also, we have a number, 0598934141. 0598934141. So we are at Awashi at the moment, Awashi at Rantier. And inshallah, when you get in touch, we'll definitely be there.
Okay, I'm Khalid Adam, an executive member of Adam's Farms, and I'm just going to give you a little overview of the work we've been doing over here. So basically, if you come with me, you can see this small compartment that we built about 4 years ago. This was built for storage. Okay, we store some of their food stuff in. So this was the first storage compartment we had to build for the farm. But subsequently, we stopped using it because most of the time, finding the amount of food to use for these cartons are very, very expensive and rare. We used to order something from Ghana Brew. The raw material that is used for the malt we drink, as in Guinness malt, bitter malt, in its raw state is a very, very effective nutrient for these cattle. So we used to store them here, but later we had to shift from this side and moved to the far end here. Moved to the far end here where we started to save some of these malt. Now, we had a link from Ghana Brew that gave us a constant supply for malt to feed these cattle. And then now I can say a very big thank you to God that we are able to feed these cattle with the malt and then a little bit of cassava peels regularly. Now, if you come with me here, you can see that the farm is divided into 2 compartments. So So usually when we bring an animal that is lesser weighted than the bigger ones, we store them here for a little bit of grooming. You know, usually when they are this little and you mix them with the older ones tend to kind of fight them, and then some of them get injured in that process. So we bring them here, cultivate them for a little months before we move them to the bigger side of the farm. There's a pile of sawdust, okay, the chaff from wood. Now this sawdust is used for replacing these cow dungs monthly. Now when you look inside the farm, you realize that there's a pile of cow dung inside the farm. This is as a result of their regular defecating. Okay, so whilst they defecate and it gets to this level, we have shovels and then wheelbarrows, fetch all this dung, pour it outside, and then replace it with the sawdust. Now, most of this work is done by local laborers. When I say local laborers, I'm talking about people who volunteer in the area to assist us to feed these animals without getting paid. When we talk about the staff that are being paid, I can count a number of 3 to 4 personnel that are actually being paid for the job we do here, and they see to the daily feeding of these animals. Aside that, when it comes to the veterinary needs, the health of these animals is done by the CEO of Adam's Farms, Ahmed Hadu Adam, with the help of some other experienced personnel with the expertise of feeding and then also taking care of the health of cattle. Now, so this is the second storage I was talking about. So now when we bring the molds from the Ghana brew, we store them here for safekeeping. You can see that we designed it in a way to withstand rain, so that when rain falls, it doesn't directly fall on these molds. Now, when we are about to feed them, we fetch them from here and then mix it with a little bit of cassava peels. As you can see, these cassava peels are really loved by the cattle. Okay. In our local terms, we used to laugh and say that the cassava mixed with the malt is kind of like a fried rice for these cattle, because they really enjoy it and makes them really grow bigger and faster. So a mixture of the cassava peels and then the malts from Ghana brew, the perfect combination, and usually the basic source of feeding that we use to fatten these cattle. Now you can see that there are 3 compartments. I first spoke about a first compartment where we store the freshly brought cattle for grooming before we bring them to the bigger side. Now you can see these ones are very much younger than the overall cattle we see here. They are the youngins. Usually they are isolated from the whole group just to keep a closer eye on them. Now if you come to the main side, that is here, you can see we have most of our big cattle here. Now this, I don't know if you can see, this black and white cattle is like the biggest cattle we have in the farm now. So these are the older ones, and usually we don't have any problems with them because they are kind of used to us. We treat them fairly, we show them love. So when it comes to a matter of security, we have no issues. Just that here, I mean, once a month, while we change the sawdust into the farm, we had to bring them out of the farm so that we can undertake the exercise. Because they usually don't get the chance to come out of the farm, the moment they get to come out, they feel excited, and you see them running all around the community. So we usually, when that happens, we even have to create barricades here, pointing directions to stop them from crossing some of it. We'll get them out, create a barricade, and then we work on the sawdust. You can see, cattle are also based on their behaviors. You can have an extra friendly cattle, and then one too that is kind of moody all the time. Now, when you look at this breed of cattle, usually you see them when you go to countries like Brazil. They prioritize this kind of breeds. That's because they are friendly, and you see they don't usually have a long horn. Okay, in our local dialects we call them the budali. Okay, and then the issue is they grow big very easily. once they adapt to the malt and the cassava fields, you see them growing big very, very easily. People actually usually use this kind of breeds for crossing because they feel the new offsprings will get to exhibit some of the traits that these beautiful breeds are able to exhibit. So basically, we are just having a wonderful time here, working hard to promote agriculture and then also farming when it comes to cattle in Ghana here. And then basically, cattle farming keeps growing. As at 2022, we are projected to have 2,466,000 tons of cattle being consumed in Ghana here, and was projected to multiply times 2 in 2024. So I mean, there's going to be a growth sprite. That's when I say growth sprite, most people that are into real estate are now even diverting into cattle farming. So our goal here is to expand within the shortest period of time we have to make use of every resource that we have here on the land. So I think basically that is it. For more information on our farm and then inquiries, financial inquiries, you can get us on TikTok. That is Adams Farm. Adams Farm. The handles are here. You can get us on TikTok here. That is the Adams Farm GH. And then on Facebook too, it's the same Adams Farm GH. And then when it comes to Instagram too, it's Adams Farm GH. Basically that is it. When it comes to you purchasing a cow and then we having to kill it and dress it for you, that is also a service that we undergo. So I'll urge the whole public to get to know us, get to patronize us, and then to keep the business going and booming.